Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Hell, a cyberpunk thriller. As always, I am your underworld tour guide, Un, and we are getting very close to the end of the game. As a matter of fact, we may finish today. We'll have to see how that goes. But whatever the case, it's going to be a Rock'em Sock'em update, because there's going to be a lot of combat in this episode. First we've seen in quite a while, all the way since Sanguinarius, as a matter of fact. And because I'm going to want to show the game overs, that means we'll also be dying a lot. Good times. But before we throw ourselves into the world of gratuitous violence, this is a good opportunity to do that betting at the off-track horse thing. Sorry, my English failed me for a moment there. At the off-track betting site. As I've mentioned before, this is completely pointless because in the final version of the game, there is absolutely no need for money. So it's just watching numbers go up. I have to imagine that there was some point to increasing your finances beyond just getting the lockpick implant somewhere during development, but I imagine that got left on the cutting room floor at some stage. So let's head on to the racetrack results room here in Judiciary Square. And as we always do, we'll take our look around the setting at first.
Beneath the bank of ageless vid screens, the racetrack betting area of the future is a pretty Spartan place. There aren't even any tip sheets or racing forms on the floor. Everything's been automized, virtualized, computerized. This is the results room, where holovids of races are shown on some screens, and official results on others.
Where's this go? Ah, the betting parlor. Fair enough. And who have we got here? Arnie Ridge and Cy Barnes.
An older fella with a twinkle in his eyes and a scowl on his face, so that it's hard to tell whether he's putting you on or not. Like the elderly uncle perpetually offering some poor little kid his finger and saying, "Here, pull this." A wizened old gent who's bent over with age but somehow makes it seem cute and polite. He's clearly put a lot of time into thinking about what to wear. He looks pretty natty.
Okay. Got a couple of old-timers. And nothing else we can look at, so let's just go ahead and chat them up.
Hey, you girlie, come here. You look like a woman who dresses after my own heart, so I want you to put an end to this argument I'm having with my partner Arnie here.
Okay, Cy's voice is definitely the same as the dispatcher back at the Pentagon garage. Definitely the same guy.
I ain't your partner.
Ah, shut up. You see me talking to you?
I just don't want nobody thinking I'm partners with somebody what's dressed like you. I don't want people to have the impression I know you from Adams off Ox.
And Arnie definitely has the same voice actor as Aldous Xenon.
What I want to know is where you come up with these cockamamie expressions. In the meantime, I want you to shut up. I'm talking to this young lady here.
Look, old-timer, what do you want?
You forgot she was there, didn't you? Out of sight, out of mind. You're slipping. You're slipping.
Remind me I should hit you hard later. Would you do that for me, please? Now, Missy, my question is this. 1, do you think this looks okay, this outfit I got on? And B, you got any idea how they show the fix?
The fix? What are you talking about?
Hey, Arnie, he talks. The husband talks.
I'm not her husband.
Hey, you don't have to explain nothing to me, fella. I don't care. You could be a first cousin for all I care.
Wait, Cam. What's this about a fix? Are you saying the races are fixed?
Of course they're fixed.
Mr. Beautiful don't leave nothing to chance.
Oh, so Mr. B's been running the horse racing around these parts, huh? Well, I wonder how he's going to do that now that he's a head sitting in our inventory, but, well, I guess his resources and network of underlings must be vast.
What's beautiful got to do with it?
He's racing, what do you call it, the czar. It's always fixed in his favor. He hates people to win his money. The favorites don't never win, but beyond that, it's go figure. But me and Arnie figure he's got to have some way of keeping track of things for himself. Some way to mark the horses so only his people would notice. Only we ain't been able to figure it out yet.
Look, guys, we're running low on time. We gotta win some money, and fast. We could really use your help. Maybe you could fill us in on how the races are run, how to bet, things like that. Neither one of us has ever been to a horse race before.
Nah, Rachel, you really don't need money fast. I mean, again, there's one thing in the game to buy, and we bought it a long time ago.
And in return, maybe we can help you spot how the horses are marked. We're pretty good at breaking codes, so maybe we can put our heads together and come up with something. We heard there was something called the Solix Stakes, and that it would have a pretty big pot.
Biggest pot in history. This one, the fix, is gonna be devious as hell. Which could work out to our favor. I mean, the more people lose, the bigger the pot. And the thing is, if we can get the first 3 horses, win, place, and show is what they call it, then we'll damn near break the bank. Problem is, we just can't spot the fix. We even went out to watch him parade the horses in the paddock this morning, to see if we could spot something, like a brand or something, but we didn't see nothing unusual. Now they're back in the barn, and the next time we see them, they'll be all covered up in their silk.
Silks? What do you mean?
Yeah, you know, the racing silks. The colors. They all got 2 colors on. Same colors the jockeys riding them wear. That's how you can tell the horses apart when they get going. They list them in the tout sheet. Plus, when you go to place your bet, the machine tells you all that kind of stuff. The horse's number, the odds, and the colors. I guess that's all we got to study now. Once you place your bet, that's it. Anyways, if we don't see yous later...
Oh, didn't mean to cut him off there, sorry. But we didn't miss much, and anyway, that conversation, even if you haven't done all the stuff with Massimo already, it's a pretty dead giveaway that the fix code has something to do with the silks and the colors on them. Let's see, you got anything else to say, Si?
Holy moly, you won! You figured it out! Way to go! Tell me something. Who you got in the next race?
Dude, we didn't win anything. I think the conversation triggers are a little bit broken here. And he's got nothing else to say. How about you, Arnie?
Oh my, ain't you a couple of smarty pants, figuring out that business with the silks. If I was you, I'd use all that money you won to buy you some new clothes.
Well, we have been wearing these outfits for a while, but again, we haven't done anything. Well, whatever. Let's move along. I wonder if that trigger is anyway based on the amount of money that we have in our inventory, and the scripting just didn't account for the fact that we'd have a lot left over after, buying the information about this place. I really don't have a clue, but yeah, something's definitely broken there. Nothing special we can look at here, so we'll just check out the room as usual.
The room where actual betting takes place. As the only thing in the room that has any real meaning to race fans is the betting machines, they have become quite sophisticated. They even show vids of the latest tip sheets next to the simulated betting forms.
Oh, we can interact with the betting machines. But first, who's this lady here? Carol Metz. Hi, Carol.
A beady-eyed, middle-aged woman who looks like she's been at the vert track a long time, like since her 20s.
I seen ya. You was cupping me numbers.
Can it, lady? We're here on business.
All right. Let's see. You're at the racetrack. I wonder what business you could be here on. Like maybe... Oh, I don't know. Maybe placing a bet? Maybe trying to steal somebody's numbers. Don't even think about it, clown boy. I'm a certified martial artiste, and I can take your legs out from under you and leave you a maimed cripple for life.
Back off, lady.
Oh, you want to have a little girl fight, is that it? You don't even know what you're messing with, girlie. You try messing with Carol Metz. You'll be trying to scratch me eyes out, and I'll be dismembering you. Why, if I was you, I'd turn your butt around and get the heck out of here.
If you were me, you would have belted yourself in the mouth by now. Now back off and leave us alone before you get yourself hurt.
You want me to blow her up?
Now, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. I catch you looking over me shoulder again, and you can get your legs goodbye. Try looking over somebody's shoulder at their racing sheet when you're walking around on your knees.
Come on, kid, she's whacked. Let's just get away from her.
Doesn't sound so appetizing, does it? They'll be calling you Stumpy.
Come on, kid.
Stumpy, I'm telling you. Stumpy.
Well, that was an interesting accent. I think that was supposed to be Irish. But Carol's a character. It was strange to see Sinnoh weigh in. It's been a long time since that happened. Matter of fact, I'm surprised Mr. Beautiful's head didn't weigh in back when we were chatting with the old fellas in the results room. Ah well. What about these betting machines?
The monitor of this betting machine shows both a vid version of a racing form, showing what horses are running, the odds, and their racing colors, as well as a blank betting form that allows you to place a bet.
Okay. But before we get to putting any actual bets in, let's take a look at that color chart. Okay. Red, yellow, and blue are the primaries. And the secondaries are orange, purple, and green. Just making a note of that. And everything else is tertiary. And that is all we need to know in order to completely rip off the horse race. Which is another thing you'd expect Mr. Beautiful to have something to say about, but I don't believe he does. So, let's see. This is the Solix Stakes. That's something you want to watch for, because that will be, the big pot. And, the way you figure out the fix is you look for the horse with two of the primary colors, and that'll be the win. One with 2 secondary colors will be place, and the one with 2 tertiary colors will be show, and you'll want to ignore the rest. So, actually I forget how much money we have exactly, so let me check on that. We have $90,000, okay. So let's see. Primary colors. We want red, yellow, and blue. The Cyber Sal has yellow and blue. And orange, purple, and green are our secondaries. So I'm thinking that'll be all decked out. You know what? I think I need to have a closer look at those tertiaries. Go to John, I like that. A little Terminator reference there. Yeah, I'd better take another look at that color chart real quick. Bear with me, folks. Yeah, these are going to be a little hard to recognize, but you know, if I fluff it up, it's not even going to matter. So yeah, I think Cyber Sal is our winner. And then we wanted orange, purple, and green. Who was that? Oh yeah, that was all decked out. Okay, educating Laura, there was no black and white, so that's not it. So we had green, 2 yellows, a sort of red, a pink, and a pink. Alright, I guess that might be go to John. I'm not sure. We'll give it a shot. Oh, have to hit enter on that. Now we'll do it. Alright. Wasn't sure if I'd get the show one correct, but indeed we did. And now we are absolutely stinking rich and have absolutely nothing to do with it. But I guess after all is said and done, we'll have a nice retirement ahead of us anyway. Can't talk to her about it. Beautiful's got nothing to say, so yeah, that was all completely meaningless, but at least we could say we've done it. Alright then, that is enough dicking around in the real world. It's time to head back into VR and spend a little more time in hell. So I'm gonna need to head on back to DuPont Circle and the British Embassy, back to the computer room, and then back to hell we go. Because all we've really got left to do is rescue Townsend Ellers, the chief strategist for the CFF. And once we've got Ellers rescued, then all we have to do is figure out how to write that crash bug to bring down the Hell VR. Now, as we've been told, Townsend Ellers is in the claws of Satan himself, so that presents a bit of a speed bump for us, but I'm sure we'll get that sorted out. Once again, we're gonna head for Charon. And before we start fooling around with the unholy trio, I'm gonna go pay a little visit to Kerberos. I don't think I can get myself killed here, but I don't remember with absolute certainty, so I'm gonna drop a save game real quick, like. Just so we don't lose our completely useless ill-gotten gains.
That beast isn't letting us pass. He's sniffing for something. Must be the scent of those damn demons.
Home of Hell's own junkyard dog. He's chained, but the random skull or two shows what happens if you get too close.
That beast isn't letting us pass. He's sniffing for something.
Yeah, we've heard it, Gideon.
The scent of...
I have to say, the Guardian Dog of Hell is surprisingly unimpressive. It's rather small and normal looking, aside from the extra heads and the slightly spiky tail. Now what happens if we...
It's locked. Damn, it's locked.
Oh, it is not, Gideon. There's not even an actual door there. There's just a dog in the way.
That beast isn't letting us pass. That beast isn't letting us pass.
Okay, nothing terribly interesting there. But as the comments from Gideon suggest, he's smelling for something, and what we actually need is some sort of item from each of the unholy trio. And that is why we'll be needing to take out the three of them. So first thing we're gonna do is pay a little visit to Belial.
Welcome to Charon's.
Rachel, Gideon, this is Jeremy. It's risky for me to communicate with you, but I wanted to help you in the fight against Belial. I detected a weak point in the landscape of Belial's pit. It's near the edge of the ravine. If you can do something to dislodge the earth at that spot, and then maneuver Belial to it, the ground might explode from under him. You might be able to defeat him. I've introduced some code that will temporarily highlight the location of the weak point.
Well, thanks, Jeremy.
The plethora of skulls, the rift in the earth, all suggest not hell so much as the place you are sent to if you are bad in hell.
Well, I will say, Belial does have a pretty nasty throne room. This must be that spot that Jeremy was telling us about, but it doesn't seem like we can take a closer look at it. Belial himself, on the other hand...
Looks like he invented the word hulking. Like a shark, he never sleeps, and therefore has a lot of time to work out. He's in pretty good shape.
Well, you may remember quite some time back when Mr. Beautiful referred to him as the hulking ignorant Belial. So yeah, he's the tank of the unholy trio. Well, yeah, Jeremy did say something about using this weak point to our advantage, but that couldn't possibly be important. I'm sure we can take him.
You come to Belial's lair. You come to wrestle with Belial. Belial will destroy you, break you, rip and tear you.
Yeah, I don't think that comes as any great surprise to anybody. Well, compared to being eviscerated and crucified, eviscerated, and fed to the Racketeerin by Sanguinarius, that was a fairly boring death scene, but might as well be thorough about this. Alright, second try. This time we'll do it properly.
Rachel, Gideon, this is...
Yeah, we know, Jeremy. So what we actually need here is to set up us the bomb right on that spot that Jeremy indicated for us.
There. That should work.
You come to Belial's lair. You come to wrestle with Belial.
Yeah, we've heard it all before.
Destroy you.
Piece of cake.
This medal, signifying the wearer's obeisance to Satan, is usually found around Belial's neck.
Alright, we get his medal. Whoops. No, you go into the inventory. There we go. And next on the hit list is Beelzebub, and because I am going to deliberately fuck this up again, We'll put another save down.
Welcome to Charon's book.
Rachel, Gideon, this is Jeremy. It's risky for me to communicate with you, but I wanted to help you in the fight against Beelzebub. Deep Throat says that Beelzebub is made of flies and the dust of decayed corpses. If you blast them apart, they'll just reform. Unless you can use something on the ground to make it sticky. That way, if you blow him apart, he won't be able to reform.
Well, good to know, but once again, we're going to ignore that advice in our first attempt.
The clammy, dank throne of the Insect King. One misstep, and you may end up like the victims, suspended web-like from the ceiling. There before you, made of corpse dust and dead flies, yet somehow oozing slime, is Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies.
How's it hanging, Beelzebub?
So, you freed some of the CFF functionaries. You think that you've won something? Look about you. Does this look like victory to you?
Well, he is quite a bit more articulate than Belial was, but then, as I mentioned in a previous episode, according to the novel, Beelzebub's real-world identity is that of one of the Hand of God's lead evangelists, sort of a TV propaganda figure, so I suppose he would be kind of a silver-tongued bastard. Anyway, just like Jeremy warned us, we blow him apart, and he puts himself right back together again. So we'll need to get things a little sticky. And as luck would have it, in one of our recent trips to Hell, as a matter of fact, the one that led to us freeing Jeremy himself, we picked up the bucket of tar that the demon Gak was using to flavor his sandwich. And I think that'll serve our purposes nicely.
Rachel, Gideon, this is Jeremy. It's risky for me to communicate.
Quiet, you. We know what we need to do here.
There. That should work.
So, you freed some of the CFF functionaries. You think that you've won something?
Yeah. Piece of pudding. And Gideon is certainly spry in that cutscene. bouncing around on the stalagmites like a Mario brother.
One of Belial's wings, closely resembling the wing of a giant horsefly.
That's not one of Belial's wings, that's one of Beelzebub's wings. But in any case, that is the second item we're going to need to get past Kerberos. And that leaves just one more member of the unholy trio, Mephistopheles. Now, I can't remember if this is something else from the novel or something else in the game that I just missed somewhere, but I remember reading somewhere something about Mephistopheles being the creative lead for the Hell Pits. So he is the guy who's been designing all the tortures that all of the CFF prisoners and everyone else condemned to hell has been going for. Going through, rather, I meant to say. So he's a sadistic, twisted, but creative SOB. I'm sure we'll enjoy our visit.
Welcome to Charon.
Rachel, Gideon, this is Jeremy. It's risky for me to communicate with you, but I wanted to help you in the fight against Mephistopheles. Deep-Throat says the key to defeating Mephisto is to pierce his armor. You may have to enhance your blade. Use something on it to help cut through the armor.
Okay, once again, Jeremy with a good hint. The source of Mephisto's power, or his invincibility rather, is his suit of armor, so there's something we're gonna have to do to punch through that.
Even the gargoyles atop their pillars seem to be attempting to lift themselves out of this pit, but the risen throne of Mephistopheles looms up, suggesting the ultimate hopeless domination of hell. Mephistopheles has anxiously awaited for the chance to toy with you in person, to destroy you with his combination of evil and mischief.
Alright. Well, how tough can his armor really be? You know, we've got heavy weapons. Gideon's been rocking that bazooka in the last couple of cutscenes, so surely that'll be sufficient.
Welcome. I've been expecting you, Rachel and Gideon. Welcome to my little corner of Hades. Well, looks like you outwitted my little games. Oh, they gave me so much pleasure. And now you've taken all my fun away. Oh, I'll miss the cries of the tortured. Now I'm going to have to bring in a whole fresh new batch of the damned. When am I going to have time to throw a little something together for my guests?
Well, once again, I can't remember where I picked up that bit of information, but that would certainly seem to support the idea that Mephisto is the design lead for the virtual hell pits.
You don't have to go to any trouble.
Say, here's an idea. Oh, how would you two look on a table with apples stuffed in your mouths? Pretty good, I'll bet. Glazed a golden brown. A good thing I'm already wearing my best suit. Oh, but enough about me. First things first. May I have this dance?
Absolutely, but I hope your dance is a little better than your talking animation, which is thoroughly ridiculous.
Sure, I'll lead.
It's showtime. Give me your best shot, kids. Bringing your toy guns around here, I see. Well, then you'd better be ready to play. A butter knife? Now, you gotta do better than that. Can't you see? This armor can stop anything. anything. With the skin nice and crispy. Ooh, just the way I like them.
Well, that was a little more gruesome than the last two. Again, I guess that's appropriate for the designer of the hell pits that we've been thwarting. That bit with sending Rachel's head flying was particularly colorful, I have to say.
Welcome to Charity.
Rachel, Gideon, this is Jeremy. It's risky.
We know. Now, this is a little fiddly and doesn't always work perfectly, so hopefully I'll get it to work without too much difficulty. Actually, I should go into the inventory screen. What we actually have to do here is use acid on the Hellblade, and that is why I refilled the acid mug after feeding it to Gak. We now have a Hellblade dripping with acid. Nifty. I think we need to use that on Mephisto.
Welcome. I've been expecting you,
Yes,
Rachel
yes.
and Gideon.
You don't have to go to any...
Say, here's an...
Sure, I'll lead.
Yeah, like I said, this can be a little wobbly. Let's just try talking to him?
Huh, they won't take it.
No, I don't want to give him the Hellblade, Gideon.
Mephistopheles.
Gideon? Let's try going into the inventory screen and back out again.
It's showtime. Give me your best shot, kids. Bringing the toy guns around here, I see. Well, then you'd better be ready to play. A butter knife? Ow, you gotta do better than that. Can't you see? This armor can stop anything. You can't hurt me.
Well, you may remember a while back, one of the weapons we retrieved from Sanguinarius' arsenal was a gun that fired poisonous serpents. And apparently, putting a little hole into Mephisto's armor was all we needed for that gun to work its magic. And now we have his hand.
The lifeless severed hand of Mephistopheles.
And now we have all we need to get past Hell's very own guard dog.
Welcome to Charon's boat rides along the...
That did it. It's smelling these items from the demons we've killed. Let's move before she changes her mind.
I don't think I ever remembered to actually examine Kerberos, so we'll do that real quick.
The three-headed hellhound Cerberus blocks your passage to Satan's lair, sniffing for the rank scents of Belial, Beelzebub, and Mephisto. Cerberus will only yield when it detects the scent of all three of its masters.
Okay, well, we've certainly taken care of that. Okay, not sure what that was about, but we have come to the gates of Satan's domain.
Even overlooking the miniature demon graffito artist at work on the gate, it is still the horrible epitome of every child's Halloween nightmare, the forbidden castle of the wicked witch or warlock.
Damn, it's locked.
Okay, this is actually a reasonable time for Gideon to say such a thing, because there actually is a portal barring our way. Now that little demon with the spray paint wandered away when we approached, but what he was starting to paint here gives us a hint as to what we need to do to get by. And he left his paintbrush, which is handy.
A big bristled brush, like the type house painters would use.
What should I paint?
Now, you may recall, we recently got a DAT from the chest of Mr. Beautiful's android body, and when we got that decoded, we heard the phrase, "God is dead." And that first thing that the demon started to paint there, it gives us a hint that this is where we put that to use. And, nice anarchy symbol there, Gideon. And we're about to run up on Satan himself, and as always, we're going to do this wrong first of all. So we'll put down the customary save.
Rachel, Gideon, Deep Throat says that Satan is programmed to win every battle, but there must be an algorithm that I can program into the system that will allow us to win. Have you turned up anything that might be an algorithm?
At last we meet, my children. Welcome to the kingdom of the wicked. My playground, my church, my castle.
Old Scratch, I think your wings are glitching a little bit there.
Yeah, well, we'll see what's left of your kingdom when we're done.
Oh, arrogance. The last stanchion of the inevitably damned. How I love to witness the cocky son of a bitch coming to terms with his own retribution.
Believe it or not, we're not here as punishment. We're here of our own accord.
Yeah, strictly business.
I see. And eliminating the Dark Lord is on today's agenda? How endearing. In my house, utter stupidity will also earn you insufferable torture. I damn the fool as well as the sinner. And you are no strangers to sin, fornicators, blasphemers, lascivious trespassers. I have seen your acts of sin and lust. I have seen what you are made of.
Wow, Gideon and Rachel must have a pretty spicy home life.
You've seen nothing.
I have. The night with the confiscated narcotics, the department payroll password, and the online call girls. That kind of thing doesn't come cheap, does it?
Wow, Gideon, I didn't know you had it in you.
Hey, that was...
And you, my dear, with members of the 33rd Regimental Division, the week in the House of Virtual Meat in Reno, Nevada, you single-handedly kept that place in business.
Wow, I think I'm even more impressed with Rachel.
Hey, when were you ever in Reno?
Forget it. We got more important things to deal with here.
Wait a minute. Reno?
That is why I offer you sinners my hand. Let us all three wed in sin and be one in sacred carnal evil. We will consecrate our bond in a bloody orgasmic union of sex and death. Come be one with all things vile and depraved. Sinners though you are both still virginal in your knowledge of evil. I will be your father, your lover, your master, you. I will take you first as consort, servant to all my needs.
Okay, well, as impressed as I am with Gideon and Rachel, I have to admit, there's still no one who knows how to party like Satan.
I'm not for the taking, so don't...
Not you, arrogant one, but your partner in sin here. I will eat his flesh, break his bones, and lap up his marrow. He will be my manservant, and he will make his home in my chamber pots.
Make his home in my chamber pots? Ugh. Talk about living downstairs from an asshole.
I think I'm about ready to end this. How about you, Rach?
Hey, I've been ready.
Ha! Try what you can, children. But as you make your final fall from grace, my mouth will be eagerly awaiting to receive you as you land. For I am more than Satan. My power reaches beyond this plane into every crevice of creation. I rule over every facet of existence. I rule the sins you regret. I rule the thoughts you think, the water you drink, the laws you break.
I rule the United States of America! God save the Imperator!
Well, I guess that puts to rest any question of who Satan's real-life, controller is.
Solux.
Yes, Hades is my creation. All sin springs from me and is led back to me. just as all power in the earthly plane rests in my hands. In the hand of God! I am good. I am evil. I am all things, and I will destroy you!
And given that I have not prepared for this battle correctly, I think that's probably right.
Come to me, my dark angels. Think you're gonna cut me up into little pieces? Look, nothing. Not a damn thing. Kind of pisses you off, doesn't it? Double my pleasure. Come to daddy, children. I think I'll have this little morsel first. Fight fire with fire, I always say.
That went poorly. And I just have 2 comments on that. First, nothing. Not a damn thing. Kinda pisses you off, doesn't it? I gotta admit, that's pretty great. And second, for all you Ghosts and Goblins players out there, doesn't Satan kind of remind you of a red Aramer? Now then, in order to actually win this fight, we'll have to head back to the real world for a moment. The hell was that? Alright, as you have probably figured out by now, what we need to do here is go back to the computer room, and we have to give that note that we got from Massimo to our programming team. Where was that? Here we go. And yeah, it's got all this weird formulaic gobbledygook on it. But Jeremy mentioned we were looking for anything that might be an algorithm, and Massimo did say that this would help us to defeat Satan, so Jeremy, if you would.
What do you make of that note we gave you? We got it from Massimo the Mad.
It's tough to read. This guy writes like he has the palsy. It's a computer algorithm of some kind. What's it for?
We don't know. Massimo seemed to think it could help us defeat Satan, but damned if we can see how.
It is a computer algorithm, and it's definitely C-space code. Let me see your psychopomp. I'm downloading the algorithm into the Psycho. Massimo said this will allow you to defeat Satan. Let's take him at his word. Solex has no doubt rigged every combat so that you can't beat him. Massimo's program just might even the odds. Give you a shot at defeating Satan.
Well then, we're ready for the androgyne. I wish I could see Solix's face when the giant discovers it's involved in a fair fight.
Look, we're doing the job on this hand crash bug. What else could you want from us?
Alright. That should be all we need. We'll take a hop back to the River Styx with our freshly modified Psychopomp. And we'll see if we can do this thing without Gideon getting his face blown off and Rachel incinerated.
Welcome to Char.
That did it. It's...
Hi, doggy.
At last we meet, my children.
Yeah, well...
Oh!
Yes, you're gonna fuck us, you're gonna eat us, you're going to shit us out, and we're going to live in your toilet.
See. And
You've seen...
I have.
Hey, that was...
Also, you're sullying Solix.
Hey,
Forget it.
wait a minute.
Also, Gideon and Rachel are a bunch of
Why,
freaks.
I offer you,
I'm not for the...
not you.
I think I'm about...
Hey, I'm
Ha! Try.
Solux.
Yes. Hey. Come to me, my dark angels. Think you're gonna cut me up into little pieces? Look, nothing. Not a damn thing. Kind of pisses you off, doesn't it?
I do love that line.
Double my pleasure. Come to daddy, children.
We never actually got to interact with Townsend Ellers, but I presume that was him kind of hanging out there banging on the rocks or whatever he was doing. And he faded away. We didn't get to see him do his metal skeleton ride. But I think that's it. We've rescued all of the CFF prisoners. So let's head on back to the command center and see what the usual suspects have to say. And by the way, I think we are at about the 1 hour mark, but there's so little left to do that I think I'm gonna go ahead and see this through to the end. Also, I think we've witnessed the greatest acting triumph of Grace Jones's career. Senator Burr, status report.
You should resist coming here unless you have something...
Yeah, we do have something to report. We've rescued everybody. Deep Throat?
Really? You'd best take your...
What about you, Jeremy?
Look, we're doing the job on this...
Katerina?
That's a wrap. You got 'em all. I didn't think you could, but you got 'em. Hand would have needed a battalion of scrubs to take you two out.
Okay, fourth try's a charm.
It isn't over yet, Katerina.
Yeah, miles to go before we sleep. I get it, but ease up, man. You're taking on hell and you're winning.
Okay, now Senator Burr, do you have anything to add?
So then, all that remains is the most dangerous mission of them all.
Senator, we've been linking our brains into a hostile computer system and running missions in an environment designed by our enemy. What's one more dangerous mission?
Yeah, the man's got a point.
She's right, though. This will be worse. We're not just asking one of you to go to hell. This time we're pushing beyond the illusion, pushing to the space beyond hell. You've had a fighting chance until now because the hell program logic simulates and abides by an approximation of Earth's natural laws. Now we propose to project your consciousness into the completely abstract realm of the hell source code itself. Even Deep Throat doesn't know what that will be like.
Can't be worse than hell, can it?
Could be. It could be so disorienting that you'll be unable to function. In hell you can see your enemy. Belial's standing there with a sword, so you fight him. In abstract C-space, a few invisible lines of code will be your enemy. They're every bit as lethal as Belial, and you'll never see them coming. The three of us devised a surveyor program that we will copy into the psychopomp's memory. The code is designed to trace links in another program's code, hopefully tracing a smaller branch, in this case one hell pit, to its source, the Hell Spawner program, the code that generates each hell pit. In essence, you are surveying the hell computer code, making a map that the hell bug will follow once we've introduced it.
Why not send this surveying program in by itself?
Hardware limitations. The psychopomp can't process information fast enough to keep up with the data flow you'll be receiving. Even if it was fast enough, it lacks the core memory to store it, even for the few seconds it will take for us to download it. Only a human mind can hold that amount of data transmitted at that speed. That's why Rachel has to deck in and escort the survey program.
No, not Rachel. I'm going.
The hell you are. You heard the man.
It has to be Rachel. We've been analyzing the two of you as you deck to hell. Rachel's brain is more efficient at processing visual stimuli. There's no question it has to be Rachel.
All is at last prepared. We can move on to Solux. We will begin the mission as soon as you are ready, Rachel. Katerina will monitor the psychopomp. As I understand, you will appear to be traveling on a raft down the River Styx until you break beyond the illusion into abstract cyberspace. Gideon will be able to communicate with you. When you're ready to begin, use the cycle pump and travel to the address Spawner.
Alright. Well, they're waiting on our go-ahead, but there's really nothing that we can do to prepare. I mean, we are on a time limit here, however a lenient one, and there's really nothing we can do that's gonna make us any readier for this than we'll be right now. So, Rachel, if you would do the honors.
I'm moving upstream. It's fast. I'm not sure I can hold it.
Stay focused on the spawner.
He's unbearable. I'm burning up.
Agent's heart rate too high. Cardiac arrest imminent. Pull out.
Negative, Command. I can hold it. I'm through. It's madness here. I think I'm gonna throw up. Commencing data transmission.
You should not have come here, Rachel Brock. You will find no answers, solve no mysteries, discover no salvation here. This is my world, my reality. Here I am God.
She's flatlined. She's gone.
No, you can't be dead. You were so close. Solix, murderer. I don't care how powerful you are, you monster. Your time is coming.
Rachel's body is carefully removed from the room and placed in a mortuary until the time when the front unseats Solix's regime and Rachel can be buried with honor. Gideon spends 2 days alone grieving, but the country is in crisis, and the time for mourning must be brief.
You're certain you're ready for this?
The world just lost another Hulkamaniac. Well, as you may have guessed, that is the significance of choosing your character at the beginning of the game. If you choose Gideon, it's going to be Rachel who has to go to the spawner and gets killed by the lawnmower Solix. And if you choose Rachel, it's going to be Rachel that survives. And that's really the only thing that choosing your character affects: who dies and who goes on to the very end of the game. Rachel, you were needlessly obnoxious at many situations, but you've done us proud.
I'm fine, Senator. I've never been more ready.
This can't be personal. I've no use for someone with vendetta in their blood. You'll only get yourself and a lot of other people killed.
I hear you. I'll get Solix, but I'll do it the right way. Nobody else dies except for that bastard.
We now have a fix on the Hell spawner and a decent map of the Hell code. We have a crash bug that's psionically augmented. All we need to do now is introduce the crash bug into the main computer. That's your job. Deep Throat indicated the location of the main computer room might be linked to the Pentagon Chapel. Be careful, though. The computer room is certain to be heavily guarded, so you'll need to eliminate those guards. Once you've introduced the crash bug, a group of CFF commandos will storm Voice of God communications, and I will bring the truth to the nation. Once the Hand's great lie is revealed, it should easily be overthrown. Here is the Hell bug. I've asked a great deal of you already. Now I must ask that you make one last mission into the Pentagon.
Never have I met with such arrogance. To attack me here, to risk so much, foolish woman, as if her resistance was ever anything but futile.
My lord, I do not understand. Brock, what has happened to her?
The fool sought to attack me in cyberspace. Didn't she realize that this is the one place she is most vulnerable? The one place where I cannot be eluded. I have ripped out her wires, deleted every trace of her data presence. She is at last dead, and Gideon Ashanti is next.
We should move more swiftly to destroy him, my lord. In his grief over his lover's death, he will be even more dangerous.
His grief will make him all the easier to kill. It will cloud his judgment and make him reckless. This has become quite personal for him now. He will come to kill me, and there will be the final battle and my ultimate victory.
Well, laugh while you can, Cyber Grace. We're coming for you. And we are automatically forwarded to the Pentagon. And now we should have a new destination that the receptionist can send us to.
How may I direct you?
Well, first of all, we'll take a trip to the pneumatic delivery room, because we have in fact been granted 2 new destinations. And before we head on to the chapel, we might as well see if there's anything helpful we can do here. And also, just for the sake of checking out all the flavor text, we'll take a quick look at that hell bug.
Perhaps the most ingenious programming device ever, this little bug has a big chore: to bring down the virtual reality of hell and the brutal reality of Solene Solux and the Hand of God.
Well, I see it's no easier to get Gideon onto the moving walkway than ever. Damn it. Gideon, do it properly. Thank you.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. A mailroom's a mailroom, but pneumatic tubes seem to have made a comeback in the high-tech, state-of-the-art Pentagon mailroom of 2095.
And who have we got over there? Her name appears to be Jute, and for some reason the game appears to list 2 of them.
She's busy lifting boxes, so muscular and concentrated she looks like she'd lift you if you'd step too close.
Yeah, gimme and get. You just gotta put it in one of those tubes.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have been warned that the computer room is heavily guarded, so we should probably send them a little surprise.
Another throwback to ancient times, this container is shaped to slide through a vacuum tube to given locations within a network of pneumatic piping.
And if I'm not mistaken, Cinna has just the thing.
That doesn't work. that doesn't work. I can't give this thing away.
This should work.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
That's weird. Oh, right. I've forgotten how this was handled. We have to put the gas bomb into a pneumatic delivery tube, which only makes sense. Little brain fart on my part.
The pneumatic tube now contains the incapacitating nerve gas, but it looks like a normal pneumatic tube.
Now we should be able to hand that off to Jude.
That doesn't work.
No, Gideon, give.
All right, where's it going?
And you may recall that Deep Throat told us that whenever he had to send something to the main Hell computer room, he would send it to the address Miraculum Sepulchrum.
Hey, I sent it. Now, as you say on your freaking planet, Amscray.
Pleasure doing business with you, Jude. And now on to the chapel.
How may I direct you?
It looks like a legitimate church, even though Solene Solux is reported to slip in here regularly. Maybe it's the lure of the flaming bank of candles.
Okay, it doesn't look like we can examine those candles. What do we got on the floor here?
A long golden taper. It's hollow, with a wick inside that allows various berobed clerics to light candles from a safe distance.
Okay, we've got a puzzle here that involves lighting the candles in a specific order, using the taper. Now, the solution to this is actually really obscure. I doubt you'll even remember it, but way back when we were dealing with the Neo-Gnostics, when we got the Night of Reentombments word from Deirdre O'Connor, we looked at her desk, and along with the word we were looking for, there was a list of chapters in Sententia, the Hand of God's Holy Book. Now, what you need to do here is light the candles in the order of the Sententia chapters as they were written down on Deirdre's desk. Now, what that has to do with this, I have no idea, but I guess, you know, as part of the personality overlays, it might be another bit of coded information that was written into her false personality. I have no idea. But in any case, what we have to do is light the candles in the order from left to right. 6, 3, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 10, 8, 9.
Solix! Did you think you had done away with the great Imperator Solene Solix? Fool! You won a small battle. I will win the war. I have created an entire dimension. What have you done? My mind is sharper, my body stronger, my knowledge vast. I rule 2 empires because I am capable of nothing less. 2 empires indestructible and unquestionable.
Don't show your face to me, Solix, unless you're ready to fight this like a man, a woman, like whatever the hell it is you are. This time there's no virtual war. I want to feel your flesh rip in my hands and your blood spill on my shoes. This time I want to know that you're dead and rotting in a place fouler than any hell you could create.
Well, looks like it's time for the final showdown. This time, in the flesh.
As you wish. It's time you felt the power of the hand of God firsthand, Gideon Ashanti. Let's see what you're made of.
I've already seen what you're made of, Solix. You destroyed the woman I loved. You destroyed an entire nation. You even destroyed me once. But I'm back. And this time I know who I am. I'm the guy who's here to kick Imperator Soline's ass.
Give it up, Gideon. Relinquish your soul to me. It's God's will, brother. And these are God's hands. This is almost as easy as having to do away with your little girlfriend. But I must admit, it won't give me nearly as much pleasure.
You bastard! God's will be done.
Two punches? 2 punches? That's a hell of a glass jaw and just a little bit anticlimactic. Oh well. Nothing to do but carry on to the conclusion. And after solving the puzzle and putting paid to Cyber Grace Jones there, we've got a new path open up to us. Here we are, the Hell Nerve Center. You can see some guards lying around, and that's because we sent the gas bomb down ahead of our visit. If you don't do that, you get captured and go through a fairly straightforward getting arrested scene, only without Celine Solix gloating over your capture as always. Or as usual, rather.
No, those aren't New Age Barca Loungers. They're simply meant to encourage REM enhancement of the VERT program the chair's victims will be hooked up to. Progress is charted on the giant video monitor, while program options can be programmed on the smaller bank of vid screens. You've never seen a computer system like this one before. The hand of God's mainframe that controls hell.
Well, it's a rather compact little mainframe. But I guess they do things cutting edge around here. Alright. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Godspeed, little bug.
Once you introduce the crash bug, it will begin to corrupt the hell data files. While the crash bug does its work, we will do ours by storming Voice of God communications. must strike in Washington and cyberspace. The torture must stop. And when the pain has ended, I will address the nation. My fellow Americans, the liberation has begun. Solene Solux's rule ends today. As this video output proves, hell is alive, a malefic computer-generated illusion rendered with illegal technology and used to create fear. A fear they use to perpetuate their unjust rule. Today, because of great acts of individual heroism, that rule ends. In the coming days, I will need the help of all Americans as I move to form a provisional government. I will formally address the country in a few days. Until then, I say with renewed energy and spirit, God bless America.
Excuse me, Mr. Ishante. The ceremony honoring you and Ms. Brock begins in 10 minutes. President Burr is waiting.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll be right there. Well, we saved the world, babe. Sleep well. You've earned it. At least I know you're in heaven. You've already survived hell.
You know, I never noticed it on previous runs, but the singer for that credits song, In the Depths of Hell, really sounds a lot like the voice actor for Abonitas, if you remember Mr. Beautiful's little flunky demon. I really suspect it's the same guy. Well, so ends Hell, a cyberpunk thriller. Definitely not a game that has aged well, but, you know, back in the day when it was released, it was actually considered kind of a big deal, and I liked it at the time, and you know, I still kinda do. As jankily as it's programmed, and, you know, as poorly as the visuals have held up over the years, you know, they really thought this world through. The sheer amount of writing, even as variable as the quality was, and the amount of depth they went into, the degree to which so many of the characters were fleshed out, even a lot of the minor characters had some degree of personality poured into them. You know, this seems to have been a labor of love. Someone really cared about this world, and the concept is kinda cool. So, that's Hell. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's certainly been enjoyable to revisit, so I hope the journey has been agreeable to you as well. And as always, I must thank you for coming along. It's been a pleasure having you. The next couple of weeks I've got a lot going on, so it'll probably be a little while before I update again. However, before we put Hell, a cyberpunk thriller, to bed once and for all, I do believe I'll be able to come up with a few bits of omake, like what happens when the time limit runs out, things like that. In the meantime, if you missed it at the end of my last video, I have opened up an Ask page at ask.fm/unfuqua, so if you have any questions about this game, any other game, or really anything at all within reason, feel free to drop them off there. So for now, this is Un, saying, I hope you're enjoying your summer and continue to do so, and that's game, Hendrix.